They didn't scream at me. That's what made it impossible to explain. Because if someone screams, you can point to it. If someone throws things, you can prove it. But what do you do when the damage is done with a smile? The dining table was set perfectly. Plates aligned. Napkins folded. My mom's signature roast in the center. Soft music playing in the background. Everything looked normal. Safe. Emily, pass the salt, my dad said calmly. I reached for it, my hand brushing the glass. It tipped slightly, just a tiny clink. Not even a spill. But my mom smiled. Not a big smile, not obvious. Just enough. There she is, she said lightly, almost amused. Always a little clumsy when she's nervous. A small chuckle moved around the table. My brother Jake leaned back in his chair, grinning. Classic Emily. I laughed too. Of course I did. Because what else do you do when everyone is laughing at a version of you that doesn't feel real? But inside, something didn't sit right. Because I wasn't nervous. I wasn't clumsy. At least, I didn't think I was. So why did it feel like everyone else already agreed that I was? That was the moment. The exact moment something shifted. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Quietly. Like a crack forming beneath the surface. And I didn't know it yet. But that crack would eventually split everything open. My name is Emily Harper. I'm 27 years old. And for most of my life, I believed I was the problem. If you enjoyed this story, like and subscribe to Betrayal Ledger for more. From the outside, my family looked perfect. The kind of family people complimented. Oh, you're so lucky, my friends would say. Your parents are so calm. Calm. That word used to confuse me. Because calm isn't always kind. Sometimes, it's controlled. My father, Daniel Harper, was a quiet man. He didn't yell. He didn't argue. He just watched. And somehow, his silence always felt like a judgment. My mother, Susan Harper, she was warm, social, thoughtful. The kind of woman who remembered birthdays and brought food to sick neighbors. People loved her. And honestly, I wanted to love her the same way. But with me, her kindness always felt like it had conditions. Invisible ones. Rules I didn't understand. And then there was Jake, my younger brother. Easygoing, funny, effortless. The kind of person who could walk into a room and immediately belong. And me, I was the opposite. At least that's what I was told. Our house ran on routine. Everything had a time, a place, a tone. Breakfast at 7:30. Dinner at 6. Conversation stayed safe. Surface level. Anything deeper? Anything emotional? That's where things got strange. Don't make things bigger than they are, Emily, my mom would say. But I never knew when I was doing that. Because no one ever explained it. They just corrected me. One morning, I was 15, running late for school. I can't find my notes, I said, rushing around the kitchen. Jake was sitting casually, scrolling on his phone. Did you check your bag? My mom asked. Yes, Emily, she interrupted, gently smiling. You always panic first instead of thinking. I froze. I did check. That's what I mean, she said softly. You get defensive so quickly. Jake smirked. Relax, Em. It's not that serious. And just like that, I wasn't a girl who lost her notes. I was a girl who panics, who overreacts, who gets defensive. A label, placed so casually. I didn't even notice when it stuck. It didn't happen all at once. That's what made it so effective. It was slow, small moments, tiny corrections. You're remembering it wrong. That's not how it happened. You always twist things. At first I argued. I know what I heard, I said once. My mom sighed, almost disappointed. Emily, why do you always need to be right? I blinked. That wasn't what I was trying to do. Was it? And that's how it starts. Not with control, with doubt. Because when multiple people tell you the same thing, you start wondering, what if they're right? What if I really was difficult? What if I just couldn't see it? That question followed me everywhere. Into conversations, into friendships, into my own thoughts. By the time I was 23, I had stopped trusting myself. I got a job in marketing, new environment, new people, a chance to be different. One evening I came home. I had a small disagreement with a coworker, I said casually. What about? My dad asked. Just ideas for a project. My mom sighed. That sigh, the one that always meant something was wrong. Emily, she said, shaking her head slightly, you always find a way to create tension. I stared at her. I didn't create anything. She gave me that look. The calm one. You don't see it, do you? That sentence stayed with me, echoed, lingered. You don't see it. I started shrinking, slowly, quietly. At work, I spoke less. With friends, I overthought everything. Even texts. I'd type something, delete it, rewrite it, delete it again. What if it sounds wrong? What if I'm being difficult? I canceled plans, avoided conversations, started apologizing for things I didn't even understand. Sorry, I might be overreacting. I said that a lot. Too much. And the worst part, it felt responsible. Like I was protecting people. From me. But what if I wasn't the problem? What if something else was happening right in front of me? It was an ordinary night. Nothing special. Jake wasn't home. I just needed a charger. His room was messy, as usual. Clothes on the chair. Headphones on the floor. His laptop was open. Screen lit. I wasn't trying to snoop. I really wasn't. But one message caught my eye. Mom says she's acting up again. My heart dropped. I stepped closer. Scrolled. Slowly. Message after message. Between Jake and my mom. She twists everything. She's always been like this. Don't engage too much, it feeds it. She'll play the victim. My hands started shaking. This wasn't concern. This wasn't confusion. This was coordination. Then I saw something worse. She doesn't even realize how difficult she is. It's honestly sad. I stepped back. The room felt smaller, like the walls were closing in, because suddenly, everything made sense. They didn't misunderstand me. They defined me. And once they defined me, everything I did became proof of it. That night, something changed. I didn't cry. I didn't panic. For the first time in years, I felt clear. I walked into the living room, TV playing. Normal. Always normal. I read the messages, I said. Silence. My mom turned slowly. What messages? I didn't look away. Yours with Jake. Pause. Then, that expression. Concern. Controlled. Emily, you shouldn't be going through people's things. Deflection. Predictable. But this time, it didn't work. I'm not here to argue about that, I said quietly. I just want to understand something. My voice was steady, stronger than I expected. Why did you decide who I was? Before I even got to be that person. The room felt heavy. My dad shifted, finally speaking. We've always tried to help you. No, I said. You've always corrected me. Silence again, but different this time. Because I wasn't doubting myself anymore. Everything came out. Years of confusion, pain, questions. You told me I was difficult so many times. I started believing it, I said. You made me question my own reality. That's not what we did, my mom replied sharply. It is, I said. And the worst part? You made it look like love. That landed. I saw it. A crack. But then, something unexpected happened. My dad spoke again, quiet, careful. You don't understand the full story. My chest tightened. What does that mean? And then, the second twist. You weren't always like this, he said slowly. You changed after the incident. I froze. What incident? Silence. My mom looked at him. Then at me. You don't remember? She asked softly. My heart started racing. No. And then she said something that shattered everything again. You were different before you were 10. The room spun. What are you talking about? My dad exhaled. There was an accident. Pieces, fragments, something buried. You hit your head, he continued. You had behavioral changes after that. I stared at them. Was that true? Or just another version rewritten? What if they weren't just manipulating me? What if they had been rewriting my past too? I didn't leave that night, but something inside me did. The need to believe them. Because here's the truth I finally understood. Even if something happened, even if I changed, that doesn't justify being erased. That doesn't justify being rewritten. Over time, I rebuilt myself. Carefully, slowly. I went to therapy, started questioning everything. Not myself, them. And piece by piece, I found her again. The version of me that laughed without hesitation, spoke without fear, felt without apology. She was never gone, just buried, under years of being told who I was. The most dangerous label is the one you start believing about yourself. And the most powerful thing you can do? Take it off and never, ever put it back on again.